Hi students, have a nice day. Today we are going to learn ninth physics. The topic name is light, part 1. Before we enter into the topic, we must learn introduction. Light is a form of energy which travels as electromagnetic waves. The branch of physics that deals with the properties and applications of light is called optics. In our day-to-day life, we use number of optical instruments. In this lesson, you will learn about spherical mirror, that means concave and convex mirror. Also, you will learn about the properties of light, namely reflection and refraction and their applications. Now let's learn about law of reflection. Consider a plane mirror M dash as shown in this picture. Let AO be the light ray incident on the plane mirror at O. The ray AO is called incident ray. The plane mirror reflects the incident ray along OB. The ray OB is called reflector ray. The angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called angle of incidence. The reflector ray OB makes the angle with the normal and this is called as angle of reflection. Line ON at O perpendicular to M dash. This line ON is called normal. The incident ray, the reflector ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflections. From this picture, you can observe that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. That means angle of I is equal to angle of R. Also, the incident ray, the reflector ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. These are called the laws of reflection. We move to lateral inversion. You might have heard about inversion, but what is lateral inversion? The word lateral comes from the Latin word latus, which means side. Lateral inversion means sidewise inversion. It is the apparent inversion of left and right that occur in a plane mirror. Why do plane mirrors reverse left and right, but they do not reverse up and down? Well, the answer is surprising. Mirrors do not actually reverse left and right, and they do not reverse up and down also. What actually mirrors do is reverse inside out. Look at the image and observe the arrows which indicate the light ray from the object falling on the mirror. The arrow from the object head is directed towards the top of the mirror and the arrow from the feet is directed towards the bottom. The arrow from the left hand goes to the left side of the mirror and the arrow from the right hand goes to the right side of the mirror. Here you can see that there is no switching. It is an optical illusion. Thus, the apparent lateral inversion we observe is not caused by the mirror but the result of our perception. Real and virtual image. If the light rays coming from an object actually meet after reflection, the image formed will be a real image and it is always inverted. A real image can be produced on a screen. Next one, virtual image. When the light rays coming from an object do not actually meet but appear to meet when produced backwards, that image will be virtual image. The virtual image is always erect and cannot be caught on a screen. Next, let's learn about spherical mirror. In your earlier classes, you have studied that there are many types of curved mirrors, such as spherical and parabolic mirrors. The most commonly used type of curved mirror is spherical mirror. In curved mirrors, the reflecting surface can be considered to form a part of surface of a sphere. In some spherical mirror, the reflecting surface is curved inwards, that is, it faces towards the center of the sphere. They are called concave mirrors. In some other mirrors, the reflecting surface is curved outward. They are called convex mirror. Now let's learn about rules for the construction of image. To find the position and nature of the image formed by a spherical mirror, we need to know the following rules. First, the rule number 1, called as principal axis, and C means center of curvature, and F means principal focus, and P means pole. Number 1, a ray parallel to the principal axis passes through or appears to be coming from the principal focus. Number 2, a ray passing through the center of curvature is reflected back along its own path. Rule number 3, a ray passing through the focus gets reflected and travels parallel to the principal axis. Next, let's learn about rule number 4. A ray incident at the pole of the mirror gets reflected along a path such that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Students, these 4 rules are very important, so read it well. Now let's learn about image formation of concave mirror. First, case number 1. When the object is far away, that means infinitive, the rays of light reaching the concave mirror are parallel to each other. The image is formed at principal focus and size of the image is very small. Next, case number 2. When the object is beyond the center of the curvature, the position of the image is between the principal focus and center of curvature, and nature of the image is real, inverted, and smaller than object. Next, case number 3. When the object is at the center of curvature, the position of the image is at the center of curvature itself, and the nature of the image is real, inverted, and same size as the object. Case number 4. When the object is in between the center of curvature C and the principal focus F, the position of the image is beyond C, and the nature of the image is real, inverted, and magnified. Next, case number 5. When the object is at the principal focus F, the nature of the image is no image can be captured on the screen, nor any virtual image can be seen. Next, last one, case number 6. When the object is in between the principal focus F and the pole P, the position of the image is behind the mirror, and the nature of the image is visual, erect, and magnified. Next, let's learn about sign convention for measurement of distance. We follow a set of sign convention called the Cartesian sign convention to measure distance in ray diagram. In this convention, the pole of the mirror is taken as the origin. The principal axis is taken as the x-axis of the coordinate system. First point, the object is always placed on the left side of the mirror, and second point, all distance are measured from the pole of the mirror, and third one, distance measured in the direction of incident light are taken as positive, and those measured in the opposite direction are taken as negative. And fourth point, all distance measured perpendicular to the above the principal axis are considered to be positive, and all distance measured perpendicular to and below the principal axis are considered to be negative. Next, we move to mirror equation. The expression relating the distance of the object U, distance of the image V, and the focal length F of a spherical mirror is called the mirror equation. It is given as 1 by F is equal to 1 by V plus 1 by U. Next, let's learn about linear magnification. It can be defined as the ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object. That means M is equal to H dash divided by H, otherwise called as HI divided by HO or H2 divided by H1. Here m means magnification and h2 means height of the image and h1 means height of the object. So magnification is equal to height of the image divided by height of the object. For the next video we will learn about uses of concave mirror.